In my presentation on the robot competitions. I'm going to be looking over a few that are just that are in the North Americas, and one is, I believe, is also in the UK. The first one I'm looking at is actually it's called FIRST, FIRST Robotics. The FIRST Robotics competition was previously known as the Canadian Association for Student Robotics. It was started in 2001. And it was originally targeted towards high school students, so it was basically a competition between different schools for people to learn about robotics and get people into the field. It was originally only hosted in Toronto, but then later it was expanded to the University of Waterloo because of such a high demand of people. So it was expanded to have more, so they have more schools. So now they actually have 2 running per year. There's the one in Toronto and the one University of Waterloo. It actually is run completely, almost completely, of volunteers. Over 140 volunteers every year help to run the competition. And it's actually won the Ives Landry Technical Career Awareness Award. Basically, it's an award to show that you're helping raise awareness for technology, basically technology and robotics in specific. This is a photograph from the actual competition. In this photograph, one of the years, the challenge was you had to build a robot that picked up these inner tubes and had to bring them to the goal area. And this one's actually this one's actually a remote control robotics. So you actually have to use a controller. It wasn't autonomous. Okay. The next one is it's actually called Botball. This one is actually only in the States. This one was started in 1997 by the KISS Institute for Practical Robotics, KIPR. Like the first robotics challenge, it's made for high school students, and actually it's expanded for middle school students as well. So it takes anywhere from, I believe, in middle school in the States, it's grade 7 to grade 12. It's located in many cities across the USA. Actually, the contestants for this one, they're actually given a kit to work with. So basically, everybody starts off with the same basic components, and you have to build on that. So that kind of gives everybody a level playing field. It's actually relatively expensive, especially since some of these parts are very unique. Actually, along the entire way, it's not just like the one kind of weekend. It's actually building up over a couple of months. So throughout that time, they actually have to go up onto the website and update their documentation for the robot, saying what they've done, so that the people in the contest can actually follow their progress and see, kind of like give feedback. So, the kit they get has a handy board, so it's a microcontroller. The Lego RCX, the XBC, which is the I think it's called the X-Post Botball something, I can't remember what it's called, and an iRobot Create. And these are just some pictures of them. This one here is the iRobot Create. It's kind of like a Roomba. So basically, it controls the whole seeking of paths. This is the microcontroller. This one here is the XBC. It's actually controlled by a Game Boy Advance. That's how they get the screen up, which I thought was pretty cool. And that is the Lego RCX. And this one here actually controls like the movements and the mindset. Okay, now the Vex Robotics. The Vex Robotics, it started off as the Vex Robotics Challenge. It's actually been changed its name to the First Tech Challenge because it was originally started by the first people, like I can't remember the acronym's name, but it's the company called First. It was started in 2005 as like a spin-off, kind of like it was more affordable. So basically, the parts weren't as expensive. Like the parts I just showed you, they were all like relatively expensive because they're all pre-made, and basically like the Roomba thing is like something like a couple $100. So basically, all the parts were more accessible to the competitors and more affordable. The goal of the competition was to get people that wouldn't usually have the chance to work on robotics, that were probably like more well-funded schools, to get involved and maybe think about going into a career like that. In its first year, there were 130 teams from 6 different schools, and then as the competition expanded, they are now involving, I think, just over 8 states, states in the U.S., and like just thousands and thousands of students every year. So these are some of the pictures. And this one here, the pictures are of, the competition was they had to pick up a ball. So you can see the conveyor belt here. They had to pick it up and then fling it into a goal zone. And this, actually I forgot to mention, this along with all the other competitions, it's not the same thing every year. Like every year they have a different challenge. Like it's one year they had to just navigate the maze. That was like one of the first years. Another year was they had to go in and do like some of this, catch the ball and throw it. Actually, two of them had the similar inner tube thing where they pick up the inner tube and just drag it around. And so stuff like that, basically. Every year it's something different, so you can't just kind of carry what we did last year. And the last robotic challenge I looked at was the best robotic challenge. It actually stands for Boosting Engineering, Science, and Technology. So that was kind of fun. It was established in 1993 by Tad Mauler and Steve Marham from Texas Instruments. So basically what they were doing is these two guys, one year they had they were given the task of kind of like take your kid to work day kind of thing. So they were teaching a whole bunch of young kids about this thing. They said, hey, this is a great idea, we should continue this. So what they did was they built this competition. And in the first year they only had like 14 schools with 221 students attend. But I mean, since it's been growing since 1995, the competition now, like like the other one, also is expanding throughout the United States now, and I believe they're actually trying to get into the UK as well. And these are some pictures from that one. This one here, the top one, this one, they actually had to pick up the, I think it's kind of like an airplane, so I wasn't really sure what they were trying to make, and they had to actually put it into the other part of the airplane, if that makes any sense. And then down here you can see, it's actually, this is another year. What they had to do is it's kind of like a bot battle, actually. Like they had to, it's kind of like a little bit of capture the flag and a bit of protecting yourself and moving away from other robots. It's kind of hard to see. The picture's a little bit better, but like you can see, there was actually 2 robots against each other at each time, so like the fields are divided into half. And so basically what they do is they have to move around, and so you're inside your zone, you have to grab the flag and bring it back to your zone. So it's like a capture the flag sort of thing for robots. So that was that. And I just want to show you guys some of the web pages from First Robotics. So this is the First Robotics competition. So you can see they actually have a video. I don't know if you want to show it or not. No. It actually has a video of you can see the robot picking up the inner tubes and moving them around. The bot ball is, again, you have to, it's all through it. Actually, it's sponsored quite a bit by NASA as well. They get a lot of work from NASA. This is the first tech challenge, which was VEX. VEX was renamed the first tech challenge. Again, this is kind of like they're moving. Go back to that one. This one here is kind of like a little bit of a hockey game. They have to actually move the pucks around to different parts of the zone. And then Best Robotics is the pictures I showed before. That's it.
Okay, great. Well, thanks a lot. That was awesome. Great. Any questions? Anybody want to?
Questions? No.